Hello, I'm Katie Freeman with Freeman Furnishings, and in today's video I'm going to walk you through the process of creating a unique one-of-a-kind wood and resin charcuterie board. I walk you through the whole process from cutting the wood to making the mold to pouring the resin and the finishing touches. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. From sapling to heirloom, every piece has a story, and it's our job to share that story. Alright, to start off this project, I started with a piece of small spalted hard maple, and since I really like integrating curves into the pieces that I do, I used my jigsaw, Craftsman jigsaw, to just cut a few curved parts on the wood, take off some of the rough edges with a file, and then I started to work on creating the mold. So for this project, for the mold, I used a corrugated plastic, which was my first time of using this product, but it worked really well. I could cut it into strips. As you can see here, I'm curving it around the end of the board, and all I used to glue it down was just a hot glue gun. And then to seal off the inside so the resin wouldn't leak out, I used a clear silicone with a caulking gun to finish it off. Now, as you can see, there's an overlap of the two rounded parts, and so that is going to create kind of a ledge when the resin is poured, but that's not a problem. I can sand it off with my belt sander when it is all cured. I put a furniture paste wax on the inside just to help make sure that the resin wouldn't stick, and then to keep the spalted maple down and not have it float up when I poured the resin, I just put some blocks in there and clamped them down to the surface of my workbench, and you can see here I'm putting some silicone around the blocks to make sure that the resin doesn't attach to the blocks and then they get glued or solidified down to the top of the charcuterie board. Alright, then I go ahead and I'm preparing the resin. The resin that I used for this project is Epoxy liquid plastic. I did a 2-to-1 ratio for this project, and I wanted to get kind of an ocean feel since the board to me looked somewhat like a surfboard or a skateboard, which is really big in Southern California. That's where it got started. In case you didn't know, fun fact, I lived in Oceanside, California for about 4.5 years, and I learned while I was there that that is where skateboarding got its start in the United States. Alright, so I started with just doing like a pigment, a kind of clearish blue translucent pigment, poured that in first, and then I have a green, I believe it's called like avocado green, metallic pigment that I mix in to get kind of a sea-ish swirl going on. And since this is a 2-to-1 ratio, it takes quite a bit of time to cure, and so the mica powder is going to sink, is going to spread. So I did, after about 18 hours, come back and kind of swirl it in and mix it in a little bit more before I did the final solidifying. So while you're watching this process take place, I just want to say that if you enjoyed this video or any of my other project videos, please consider going to Patreon and pledging as a patron. There's all kinds of tiers with all kinds of cool benefits for all of my patron members. Of course, this isn't a requirement. All of these videos I put out here for anyone and everyone to watch. Alright, after it cured, with these charcuterie boards that I was working on at this time, it was going to be used in a wine and cheese event, so I wanted to create spaces on the board to put kind of your softer cheeses maybe, or some dipping sauce. And so I created just a little dish spot using my mini grinder, my King Arthur's Merlin 2 mini grinder. And then I also wanted to create a spot to kind of hold on to the board, and so I just drilled a hole straight through using a spade bit to go through. And as always, I will include links to all of the tools and materials that I used for this project in the description down below. Alright, to remove the unevenness around the edges and just to make it a uniform edge, use the belt sander to go around the edge, and then use the portable belt sander to initially get the top and bottom smooth and flat. I sanded up to about 320 and then went ahead and used my Gearhart Industries electric branding iron to place my brand on the bottom so everybody will know that forever and always this is the Freeman Furnishings project. And then I finish sand it to 600 and put oil on the top to give it a nice smooth surface. Alright, if you enjoyed this video, please hit subscribe down below so you can be kept up to date on all future projects. Thanks, bye!